Ho ho, where do I start on this video? How's everyone doing today? Gossip. I just posted something on Facebook a little while ago, and it got me thinking about how difficult it is to express just how much of a nuisance gossip is. And it's funny because I read this little article, and it was talking, what I was looking up was how do we confront gossip and celebrity worship. And I've made videos about this in the past. It's always been something that bothers me. And the article went on to talk about how there are things within our circle of control and things within our circle of concern. There's circle of concern and circle of control. Circle of control would be like where we work, where we live, the choices we make, the thoughts that we decide to have. And choices of, the circle of concern would be things like, political scandals or celebrities, what they're doing with their lives, or which movies are good and bad, just talking about particular other people, specifically people. And I realized that by mentioning this, I'm instantly putting something in my circle of concern, which is, in a way, gossip in itself. In other words, by bringing this up, it's something I know I can't stop, but it is something that's in my circle of control because it's in my sphere of influence, that I can hopefully convey the message to a few people that we're doing damage to ourselves and our community and our society by obsessing over other people's lives. If you read into why people gossip about others, you'll see that it's difficult because we don't want to point the finger at people, but it tends to be because of either a person has a very low self-esteem and doesn't think very highly of themselves, and so they just decide to pick on others. It could be because they're going along with the group and everyone else is talking about something. It could be because they're generally trying to make themselves feel better, so they pick at a certain attribute about another person. Or it can in all the different reasons why we do these things, you find that the people tend to have something within themselves that isn't comfortable, because we don't talk about other people when we're comfortable with ourselves. And so this goes beyond celebrities. This gets into just friends, and any teenager knows exactly what I'm talking about. Friends in schools, the circle of influence, the groups. You might have a group of 5 friends, and when you're together with one friend, you'll find that other friend's always talking about this other friend, and then you get together with that other friend, and then they're talking about the other friend. And I want to say that this is something that's normal, because there's a difference between gossip and talking about other people out of concern. Because when I was younger, I noticed that people would always talk about each other. It was always the friend that wasn't there that would get talked about. And I knew damn well that when I wasn't there, I was the friend that was getting talked about. And that was fine with me, because I realized that when I was with people who were pointing the finger at others just to make themselves feel better, which is the reason why a lot of people do gossip about other people, when they were doing it to make themselves feel better, that was different than when we were doing it out of concern, such as a friend has an addiction or a problem, or they're overly aggressive and we want to see them do better. So there's a difference between talking about others to help them or to help ourselves understand them, and just talking about people because of the way they are. And it was Marcus Aurelius. I read a quote by him earlier, and it said, I can't remember exactly how it went, but lucky is the man who never looks over his fence at his neighbor to see what he's doing. For it says something like, the man preserves more time when he spends his concern worrying about what he's doing. And so it brings me to a little story that I read, and it basically goes like this. There's a man in a village, and he spread a rumor about an elderly man, and it spread all around the village, and everyone knew. And then the man found out that what he'd spread was wrong, and that the old man had not done that, and he felt horrible about it. So he went to the elder, and he asked him what to do. He said, I spread this rumor about someone that wasn't true. And the elder says, go back to your hut tonight, cut open a pillow, and dump the feathers all around the outside in front of your house, and then come back and see me tomorrow. So the next day, the man did as instructed. He went back to see the elderly man, and he said, well, I did what you said, what do I do now? He says, go back to your house, Pick up all those feathers, put them back in the pillow, and bring them back to me. So the man went home and he tried. Except all the feathers had blown away, most of them. And he got as many as he could, and he took them back to the old man. And he said, I tried to get all the feathers together, but I couldn't. They'd blown all over the place. And the old man said, as is with spreading the rumors. He says, once you've done the damage, you can never recover. It's spread. It's too late. It's gone. You've already caused the problems. And this is why we have to watch what we say when we're talking about other people. So if we can impress upon others, how important it is to be more concerned with helping people and helping and understanding ourselves and our world than it is to talk about what's going on with celebrities that are only famous for the sake of being famous. I think we'd be a lot better off. And I'd also like to add to this, it's not just celebrity gossip. This circle of concern also extends into politics. It extends into what people are doing in the political arena or what particular groups are doing behind closed doors. And there's an important point to make here, which is that we can't not concern ourselves with the world issues. A person who's educated and aware has a rounded view on how to handle themselves in this world. A much better idea. So gaining information is crucial and essential to being a wise person. But knowing when to draw the line between information and gossip is where we need to figure it out, because we're pummeling ourselves with useless information. So if you want to know if your information is useful or not, go back 10 years and remember some of the things that you learned on the news and say, which ones helped me? What have I gained from? Have I ever gained from talking about other people? What have I ever gained about learning, the life of another person? There's a difference between an autobiography, which deals with the life of a person, and that's interested in the person itself, and the scathing side of a one-sided, biased criticism of a person. So, I think we could all do a little better. Sounds like there's a bunch of sirens coming, so I better just finish this video now. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.